Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I'll be crafting with the new stitched alphabet dies from Spellbinders, and I love an alphabet die set. This one is a rather large one though, and I was only sent a handful by Spellbinders to craft with, so I don't have the full collection, but I think this is definitely one that I'm going to sort of build up my collection over time. And in today's video, what I'll be doing is actually creating some monogram shaker tags for Christmas. So every month this year so far, I've actually been doing a little bit of Christmas crafting. And when I saw these dies, I thought it was a great opportunity to create some monogrammed items. So I'm using my all-in-one tool to create my tags, and it's such a convenient tool because you have that template that I pulled out earlier to allow you to cut that perfect angle. And because it has a ruler that you can line up to, you can create sort of that mirrored angle so that both sides are perfectly aligned. And I'm actually creating several of these tags. Actually, I'll be making one for each of my 9 nephews and nieces. So at the very minimum, I'm going to be buying the letters for each of their first names. So what you do here is you can line up your piece of cardstock with along that sort of angled ruler, and because it is at that perfect 45-degree angle, when you run your cutting blade through it, it's going to be at the exact same angle every time. And I realized this piece was not as wide as my previously cut piece, so that's why I had to kind of recut it. On the scoreboard itself, there's also several different punches, including this hole punch. Now these tags are cut to 3 inches wide, so that gives you an idea for the scale of these letters. And from some pattern paper, now these are some leftover Christmas papers from last year that I want to try to use up. I did buy several from, that's an understatement, from the Echo Park warehouse clearance sale earlier. I think it was either earlier this month or late last month. And so I thought, let me try to use up all of last year's Christmas papers before I start into my new papers. Since each of the letters in the Stitched Alphabet die set has 2 dies, one to die cut out the shadow or the bubble layer, and then one to cut out the letter itself with the stitched detailing, the holes where you can add that stitch detailing if you wish. I used the larger of the 2 dies to cut out the aperture, and that's what I'll be creating my shaker window behind. So I've got some acetate here. This is just my flimsy acetate. It's not the super thick, strong stuff that's going to kind of stand up. This is just my thin, a little bit more affordable acetate. And I'm going to go ahead and put double-sided adhesive all the way around the acetate and attach that behind the aperture of the letter. And the way that I like to make my shakers is I do like to completely enclose it with a second layer of acetate once I've got my shaker bits in. I feel like for me it's easier to just position on whatever's going to go behind my shaker window, and it is a little bit of extra acetate, but I totally don't mind using that extra bit. Now, even though I'm going to be using some fairly low profile shaker bits, I'm going to be using some, actually they're snowflake shaped confetti, which I thought would be really cute. I'm still going to use some fairly dimensional foam, and that's just to allow me to actually really fill it up with a lot of shaker bits because I really like that snowflake fill. So I'm actually lining this pretty much the entire tag, besides, where the cutout is, where the aperture is, with this foam. And that way everything is really, it feels a little bit more level, a little bit more solid, as opposed to just running, a strip of foam just around the letter. This way, the entire sort of thickness of the tag feels a little bit more uniform. So that's why I decided to be really generous with the foam on these. So so go ahead and fill these up. It also, besides the nice shape of them, they also have this sort of aurora borealis, that sort of rainbow shine to them, depending on how you tilt it. And so here I'm just peeling off my the backing, the paper liner to my foam, and I've got a second piece of acetate that I'm securing down. And so this is going to completely enclose that shaker window. And just right along where the foam was on, or where the acetate overlapped the foam, I'm adding some more double-sided adhesive. And that just ensures that the piece of acetate is well secured to the back of this tag. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the back of the tag, which is nice because it's a double-sided pattern paper, and that way not only do you have the nice pattern that's going to show through to the front of the tag, but also it looks nice from behind too, because in this case it's got a nice stripy pattern on the front of that paper, and on the back of the paper it's a nice solid green. So I can still write a little bit of a message on this tag if I wanted. And so so that's why I really was careful to choose a double-sided pattern paper for that back layer. And to finish off these tags, I did fully assemble the other one off camera, and the final touch is going to be just a bit of this red ribbon right at the top, and that pretty much completes my project. Oh, I guess I did add the letter onto the front layer of the acetate. I guess I cut out that footage unintentionally, but I used a dotty tape runner. That way you don't get adhesive behind those circles. And I like the cutout circles because they offer a little bit of like a small peek through that acetate window as well. But love the snow shaped confetti. It really matches this pattern paper too, because there's that snowflake pattern that's on there as well. So definitely looking forward to creating more of these tags for the rest of my nieces and nephews. I don't think any of them have duplicate letters in their first names, so I'll be able to actually get quite a few of the letters of the alphabet just by getting their first initials. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider liking, commenting, and sharing. And if you want to catch new videos as I post them, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing the notification bell. Thanks so much!